kisho Jivane marane gati Arana himura Jivane marane gati Arana himura Radha Krishna pranamo Yugala Kishore Kalindira Kure Kiri Kairambira Vana Kure Kiri Ratana Bedira Upa Pusabodujana Bedira Upa Shamagari Angedi Bochua Chandunere Ganda Chamaira Dulabo Kave Edibo Mukachandra Radha Krishna pranamo Yugala Kishore Galati Gati Amalati Malai Tibodo Hagale Hadhare Tulio Dibo Kapura Tambule Lalita Vishakade Jatosaki Vrinda Anaya Koribo Seva Charanara Vinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasiranu Jaisa Seva Vilasa Kore Narottama Dasa Radha Krishna pranamo Yugala Kishore Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Joy Feminande Haribo.
Took up his disc, Sudarshan, just to protect it. He covered the embryo, Rupra, there. Did that. It was foiled when confronted by the strength of Lord Vishnu. Do not think this to be especially wonderful in the activities of the mysterious and infallible personality of Godhead. Thus saved from the radiation of Brahmastra Kunti. Okay, we'll start there. 17. Gyanatimirandasya Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Yam Pravajantamanapeta Krityam Tvaipayano Virahaka Tavyuachuhava Putre Chitanmayatayo Taravo Banedush Tang Sarva Bhuta Hridayam Munimanatosmi Bhaktya Vihinaya Parada Lakshai Chiptascha Kamari Tarangamadye Kripa Mai Tvam Sharanam Prapadyam Vrinde Namaste Charanara Vrindam Tavevasmi Najivami Tambina Iti Vigyai Radhe Tam Nayanam Charanantike. We usually sing this Radha Parthana. Would you like to? Kripayati Adi Radha Badita Shesha Badha Kimapara Vishishtam Pushti Marda Dayorme Yadi Vadati Chakinchit Smeraha Shoditashir Dvijavaramani Panktya Mukti Shuktya Tadakim Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekar Smeraha Samarali Manohara Radhika Rasika Mama Kripa Nidhi Swapriya Charana Kinkarim Kuru Prananata Vishabhanu Nandini Shri Mukhabja Rasalola Satpada Radhika Padatale Kritastitim Tvam Bhajami Rasikendra Shekhar Samvidaya Dashane Chinam Vibho Parthaye Brajamahendra Nandana Astu Mohana Tavati Balaba Janma Janvini Madishvari Priya. Jai. First of all, I offer my heartfelt obeisances to my beloved Holy Master, Nitya Vishnu Vishnu Pada Sota Sota Shishima Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Also unto Nitya Vishnu Vishnu Pada Sota Sota Shishima Bhaktivedanta Bharti Goswami Maharaj, and Nitya Vishnu Vishnu Pada Sota Sota Shishima Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And to our entire Rupanuga Varga, our guardians on this path of path of bhakti, and to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Are you sitting? Oh, yay. Amazing. Okay. Did you talk to Emily? Yeah. I figured we did. So. Okay, so Prabhu, you're not a book. You are Vyasadeva yourself, Sukadeva Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj, Krishna and all your associates, and Radharani hiding in every verse. So we have heard. I have not realized, but I've heard. We're continuing from yesterday's reading of the prayers of Queen Kunti, and I believe I just lost it. So we're on text 17. Krishna just saved Parikshit, who's in the womb of Uttara, and was it Ashwatthama? Naughty, very bad boy. He threw a astra that could never be checked by anyone. That would have killed Uttara, but because of the sincere prayers, Krishna came and took form as the shield and resurrected Uttara Devi. So powerful. So here we go. Text 17. Thus saved from the radiation of the Brahmastra, Kunti, the chaste devotee of the Lord, and her 5 sons, and Draupadi, addressed Lord Krishna as he started for home. Just back on how Ashwatthama was already punished once for killing. Well, he thought he was trying to kill the Pandavas, and he ends up killing their kids. And he's like rebuked and checked, and like then he comes back and he does this. Ionia. Yeah. This is after the war's over. The war's over now. So gosh. Okay. So the chaste devotee Lord and her 5 sons and Draupadi addressed Lord Krishna as he started for home. Srimati Kunti said, O Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you, because you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. You are existing both within and without everything, yet you are invisible to all. Being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are the eternally irreproachable factor, covered by the curtain of diluting energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. You yourself descend to propagate the transcendental science of devotional service unto the hearts of the advanced transcendentalists and mental speculators, who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit. How then can we women know you perfectly? Let me therefore offer my Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda, and the other cowherd men of Vrindavan, and the enlivener of the cows and the senses. Sweet verse. My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses. So many beautiful names. This is beautiful. Nama Pankaja Navaya, Nama Pankaja Maline, Nama Pankaja Nechaya, Namaste Pankajangraye. Pankaj, lotus. It's a pretty. Yeah. From her. I just was hearing her voice on the last one. Krishnaya. It's funny. O Rishikesh, master of the senses and lord of lords, you have released your mother, Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious King Kamsa, and me and my children from a series of constant dangers. I don't mean to tangent, but I'm going to tangent. It's so beautiful how it's related, tangentially related. It's so beautiful how when we read and we hear all the different names that the personalities call Krishna, Govinda, or, so like when we get to do that every day with our tilak. So here's Queen Kunti is calling him O Rishikesh, master of the senses, and every day we're O Rishikesh, I know how we get to call out. And it's just such a beautiful reminder when we read, because I put on my tilak so fast sometimes, like, like just to get down to our tears, and but there's such potency in these names, and we can, that's why it's a mantra. Like the tilak's not done if we don't say the mantra. It's only partly done. So, I remember hearing Guru Devi say once, about like Rishikesh. When we say Om Rishikeshaya Namaha, we can pray to Rishikesh, please conquer my senses. Please help me conquer my senses, because you're the conqueror of the senses. So we can do it. He's master of the senses, so we can turn over all of our senses to him. Anyways, back to the program. My dear Krishna, your lordship has protected us from a poisoned cake, from a great fire, from cannibals, from the vicious assembly, from sufferings during our exile in the forest, and from the battle where great generals fought. And now you have saved us from the weapon of Ashwatthama. I wish that this is the famous one. I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again, so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated birth and deaths. I'll read the purport to that one. Generally, the distressed, the needy, the intelligent, and the inquisitive, who have performed some pious activities, worship or begin to worship the Lord. Others, who are thriving on misdeeds only, regardless of status, cannot approach the Supreme due to being misled by the illusory energy. Therefore, for a pious person, if there is some calamity, there is no other alternative than to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. And we see that, I think you were saying, or someone was saying, like in the material, amongst the people out there, no one remembers God, and they say I'm an atheist, but then when danger comes, then who are they calling out to? Most of the time they're calling out to God. But they only think about him if something bad happens. Even I one time told my grandmother when I was younger, that when I first came to Krishna, that I wasn't going to come to the next Jewish holiday. And I said, because no one prays. It's just like a family get together and maybe like a couple prayers, and then it's just like a hangout. And I said, I'm not coming. No one believes in God in this family, so I'm not coming to the Yom Kippur dinner. And my grandma said, I believe in God. Anything bad, anytime anything bad happens, I pray, oh God, help me. So I was like, so it's like, it's so, that's the nature. Therefore, even though there are so-called calamities, they are welcome because they give us an opportunity to remember the Lord, which means liberation. One who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, which are accepted as the most suitable boat for crossing the ocean of nescience, can achieve liberation as easily as one leaps over the holes made by the hoofs of a calf. Such persons are meant to reside in the abode of the Lord, and they have nothing to do with a place where there is danger in every step. This material world is certified by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita as a dangerous place full of calamities. Less intelligent persons prepare plans to adjust to those calamities, without knowing that the nature of this place is itself full of calamities. They have no information of the abode of the Lord, which is full of bliss and without trace of calamity. The duty of the sane person, therefore, is to be undisturbed by worldly calamities, which are sure to happen in all circumstances. Suffering all sorts of unavoidable misfortunes, one should make progress in spiritual realization, because that is the mission of human life. The spirit soul is transcendental to all material calamities. Therefore, the so-called calamities are called false. A man may see a tiger swallowing him in a dream, and he may cry for this calamity. Actually, there's no tiger, and there's no suffering. It is simply a case of dreams. In the same way, all calamities of life are said to be dreams. If someone is lucky enough to get in contact with the Lord by devotional service, it is all gain. Contact with the Lord by any one of the 9 devotional services is always a forward step on the path going back to Godhead. Oh, good fortune. My Lord, your lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feeling. My obeisances are unto you, who are the property of the materially impoverished. You have nothing to do with the actions and reactions of the material modes of nature. You are self-satisfied, and therefore you are the most gentle, and are master of the monis. Oh, that's a long report. Must be important. Should I read it? I'll read part of it. A living being is finished as soon as there is nothing to possess. Therefore, a living being cannot be, in the real sense of the term, a renouncer. A living being renounces something for gaining something more valuable. A student sacrifices his childish proclivities to gain better education. A servant gives up his job for a better job. Similarly, a devotee renounces the material world not for nothing, but for something tangible and spiritual value. Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, and others gave up their worldly pomp and prosperity for the sake of the service of the Lord. They were big men in the worldly sense. The Goswamis were ministers in the government service of Bengal. Raghunath Das Goswami was the son of a big zamindar of his time. But they left everything to gain something superior to what they previously possessed. The devotees are generally without material prosperity, but they have a very secret treasure house in the lotus feet of the Lord. Oh, this is one of my favorite stories. There's a nice story about Srila Sanatana Goswami. He had a touchstone with him, and this stone was left in a pile of refuse. A needy man took it, but later on wondered why the valuable stone was kept in such a neglected place. He therefore asked him for the most valuable thing, and then he was given the holy name of the Lord. Gurudev explains there was actually a man that needed a dowry for his wife's to betroth, for her marriage, and so actually it was Lord Shiva. He was a devotee of Shiva, and Lord Shiva told him to go to Vrindavan and meet Srila Sanatana Goswami, that he can give him the dowry. So he goes and he's in Vrindavan and he's asking, who knows Sanatana Goswami, who knows Sanatana Goswami, and so then he's directed to Sanatana Goswami, and he says, in my meditation, Lord Shiva came and told me you can help me with the money I need for my daughter's dowry. And then Srila Sanatana Goswami is thinking, me? Why would Lord Shiva send you to me? I'm just a beggar. I'm just a renunciate. All I have is this loincloth. And he's like, why did you send him? Why would he send him to me? He's like, oh yeah, I remember. I had this stone that he threw, this touchstone. And so then he told him, oh, if you go down by the bank of the Jamuna and dig, you'll find this this stone. And it's a Chintamani stone. Whenever you touch it, the gold, then more gold will come. So he goes and he finds it, and he's so excited. He starts walking home with this stone. I've got the money, I've got the gold, I've got the wealth for the wedding. And then he's like, but if he just gave this to me freely, he must have something else. So then he went back, and then Sanatana Goswami told him about the Mahamantra and gave him initiation. And he actually threw that stone, the touchstone, the Chintamani stone. He threw it into the Jamuna, and he became a great devotee. And then Akbar, who was the king at the time, the Emperor Akbar, he heard about that. He heard what happened, and so then he sent a boat, and he told his men to have a, what's it called, magnet, when you can, to bring your boat and find the stone. And they went down the Jamuna in their boat, and they were searching, but they couldn't find it. And so then Akbar himself came to Vrindavan, and he met Srila Sanatana Goswami. He was so fortunate, because he was thinking, how could they not find it? So then, when he met Srila Sanatana Goswami, he was so, overwhelmed. You come in the presence of a pure devotee, that he said, oh, is there any service I can do for you? So then Srila Sanatana Goswami said, oh yes, actually the ghat where I take my bath at the Jamuna, the step is broken. Can you fix the step? And then Akbar, he's this big, he's the emperor of the country. He was so feeling a little insulted. I can do so much, and he's asking me to fix like a little step. So then when he went to the Jamuna to fix the step, then he got, the ghat, yeah. By Srila Sanatana Goswami's mercy, he got darshan of the actual Jamuna, and the ghat became like first he had a vision of like it super beautiful with, you know, gems and jewels, and he was just overwhelmed. So Akbar was not an ordinary personality himself, because he had an association with Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, and there was one more Goswami. He did, I think, Srila Jiva Goswami, but I'll have to check. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think just like the opera, like what's it called? With like swans and lotus flowers, and yeah. So, Kinchan means one who has nothing to give materially. A factual devotee or Mahatma does not give anything material to anyone because he has already left all material assets. A spiritual master like Srila Sanatana Goswami, although personally able to see everything as spiritual, set this example for us because we have no such spiritual vision. Oh, I was wondering why I was going this. Oh, because she's calling Krishna, who is the property of the materially impoverished. Because the Lord is the property of the devotees, and the devotees are the property of the Lord reciprocally, the devotees are certainly transcendental to the modes of material nature. That is a natural conclusion. Such unalloyed devotees are distinct from the mixed devotees who approach the Lord for mitigation of miseries and poverty, or because of inquisitiveness and speculation. The unalloyed devotees and the Lord are transcendentally attached to one another. For others, the Lord has nothing to reciprocate, and therefore he is called Atmaram, self-satisfied. Self-satisfied as he is the master of all monists who seek to merge into the existence of the Lord. Such monists merge within the personal effulgence of the Lord called the Brahmajyoti, but the devotees enter into the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, which are never to be misunderstood as material. My Lord, I consider your lordship to be eternal time, the supreme controller without beginning and end, the all-pervasive one. In distributing your mercy, you are equal to everyone. The distinctions between living beings are due to social intercourse. O Lord, no one can understand your transcendental pastimes, which appear to be human and are so misleading. You have no specific object of favor, nor do you have any object of envy. People only imagine that you are partial. Of course, it is bewildering, O soul of the universe, that you work, though you are inactive, and that you take birth, though you are the vital force and the unborn. You yourself descend amongst animals, men, sages, and aquatics. Verily, this is bewildering. My dear Krishna, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflooded with tears, which washed the mascara from your eyes. And you were afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me. Some say that the unborn is born for the glorification of pious kings, and others say that he is born to please King Yadu, one of your dearest devotees. You appear in his family as sandalwood appears in the Malaya hills. Others say that since both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you, you have taken your birth as their son. Undoubtedly, you are unborn, yet you take your birth for their welfare, and to kill those who are envious of the demigods. Others say that the world, being overburdened like a boat at sea, is much aggrieved, and that Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have appeared to diminish the trouble. Well, this is one of Gurudevi's favorite verses. Vadeshman klishyamananam avidya kama karma bi shravana smarnarani karisyanittikechana. And yet others say that you have appeared to rejuvenate the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshipping, and so on, in order that the conditioned souls suffering from material pangs might take advantage and gain liberation. beautiful because there's so many reasons for Krishna's descent. Yeah, it's such a beautiful one. And others say that you appear to rejuvenate the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshiping, and so on, in order that the conditioned souls suffering from material pangs might take advantage and gain liberation. O Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities, or take pleasure in others doing so, certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of birth and death. O my Lord, you have executed all duties yourself. Are you leaving us today, though we are completely dependent on your mercy, and have no one else to protect us, now when all kings are at enmity with us? Oh, it's so sad. Because these are Queen Kunti's prayers, and Krishna's the war's over, and Krishna's gonna leave, and so she's praying like this. As the name and fame of a particular body is finished with the disappearance of the living spirit, similarly, if you do not look upon us, all our fame and activities, along with the Pandavas and Yadus, will end at once. O Gadadhar, Krishna, our kingdom is now being marked by the impressions of your feet, and therefore it appears beautiful. But when you leave, it will no longer be so. Oh, this is like such Guru Tattva. It's pretty intense. All these cities and villages are flourishing in all respects because the herbs and grains are in abundance. The trees are full of fruits, the rivers are flowing, the hills are full of minerals, and the oceans full of wealth. All this is all due to your glancing over them. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please therefore sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn into you without being diverted to anyone else. O Krishna, O friend of Arjuna, O chief amongst the descendants of Vrishni, you are the destroyer of those political parties which are disturbing elements on this earth. Your prowess never deteriorates. You are the proprietor of the transcendental abode, and you descend to relieve the distresses of the cows, the Brahmins, and the devotees. You possess all mystic powers, and you are the preceptor of the entire universe. You are the Almighty God, and I offer you my respectful obeisances. Sutta Goswami said, the Lord, thus hearing the prayers of Kunti Devi, composed in choice words for his glorification, mildly smiled. That smile was as enchanting as his mystic power. Thus accepting the prayers of Srimati Kunti Devi, the Lord subsequently informed other ladies of his departure by entering the palace of Hastinapur. But upon preparing to leave, he was stopped by King Yudhisthira, who implored him lovingly. I hate being on the live stream. Yeah, can you tell it in the live stream off? I'm just gonna delete it from Facebook. Kind of. Yeah. Now I understand Mantri. Mantri never wants to be streamed. I mean, I could say it, but it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like I can flow more freely if I'm not